No matter how you move, get it done. No matter how you move, get it done. No matter how you move, get it done. No matter how you move, get it done.
Okay, people, so today I gotta come and I just gotta keep it real with you guys. I gotta come bearing the rather painful truth, I guess you would say, when it comes to the future of the Boruto series, franchise, all of that jazz. Because 2021 for the Boruto year, there's no denying that it is the biggest year the series has had in its entirety. Since its inception in 2017, it hasn't had this level of a boom. You would argue maybe it was around like 2018 when they did the whole Naruto and Sasuke versus Momoshiki episode. I want to say that was 2018. It might have been 2019. But either way, that episode was like the peak. And then for a long time, Boruto was dormant and was, hit with several layers of slander from people around the world regarding its quality and whatnot. Then fast forward to 2021, this has been an insane and huge year for the series and the franchise. I mean, 2020 alone last year, the manga was booming, but it was still kind of being slept on. A lot of people still weren't really, turning around to the idea of Boruto could actually be a good thing. Then you get to 2021, and this year it has been kicking major tail. It has been phenomenal. I would argue summer of 2021, Boruto was that anime. It honestly was one of the ones that really held it down. Alone, just edging into summer, you had the big introduction to Kawaki and his fight against Goro, which that episode is probably still the best or one of the top 3 best looking episodes of the entire franchise, and it really got a lot of eyes on the series of like, wait a minute, so it doesn't have to always be Naruto and Sasuke being involved. Boruto can stand on its own with some of the newer characters that were created, specifically for this series. Again, big moment. Then you fast forward a little bit until, like, I want to say it was about June, Naruto and Sasuke versus Jigen. Monumental moment. Again, one of the best looking episodes, and it was just a huge, impactful time. Again, you could argue that some people had the same little chimmers to say, oh, hey, yeah, that's why it needs Naruto and Sasuke, which it's still technically called Boruto Naruto Next Generations, as he's still a part of things. I think down the road, when we get to a time skip and they hopefully rebrand it, it probably won't be called Boruto Naruto Next Generations anymore. Seeing as how it's already been, established that Boruto is a thing, they'll probably cut out the Naruto Next Generations and just call it Boruto, again, Z or something along the lines of that. But either way, he's still, a part of the series. Hello, it's his son. But that was a huge moment that had everyone talking of like, yo, this Ishiki dude, this Jigen dude, big deal, fam. Holy cow, he took out 2 of the goats and he did it rather easily. Then you fast forward from that, we had another huge iconic moment of Boroshiki versus Boro, the whole fight of the new Team 7 versus Boro. The extensions that the anime had added that were not present in the manga was amazing, and the climax of that battle when Boruto lost his mind and absolutely executed Boro was insane, and again, another major impactful moment for the franchise. And then the latest big iconic moment, which I still would argue there's probably 1 or 2 more moments to come, but the Naruto Baryon mode, the newest form for Naruto. We haven't had a new form of Naruto since, the Naruto series in general, the end with the Sage of 6 Paths and the Truth Secret Orbs and all that jazz. We haven't had a new one. This was a major iconic moment, and Studio Pierrot really did their thing, making it look gorgeous. The design, the animation, the art, everything about it. And that battle against Ishiki Otsutsuki, where, they even replicated the Naruto versus Sasuke OG battle with the hand-to-hand combat that Naruto was using against Ishiki, and it is humongous. As it stands right now, Boruto Naruto Next Generations has some of the biggest, most viewed pieces on Crunchyroll's YouTube account. It is one of the biggest anime on there. It goes viral damn near every time something big happens, with millions upon millions of views. I want to say it was like the Baryon mode in just a few hours had 1 million views already, which is major for an anime. So I say that to say that 2021 has been very good to Boruto, mainly because the anime finally stepped it up, and honestly, even to a certain degree, people would argue surpassed what the manga had initially entailed in terms of a lot of aesthetics, in terms of, just adding things that weren't, present in the manga, extending things. You could argue it would have been even a little bit more impactful with the whole Koji situation, but that's more of a me thing, I guess. People don't really feel the same way of how, I feel like they could have done better with the Koji situation, but I digress. this. As it stands, as of the recording of this video, October 1st, 2021, Boruto right now has adapted up to halfway through chapter 53, and there are currently 62 chapters available and 20 days until the next chapter. So essentially, if you count it up, we are about 8.5 chapters away from being completely caught up with the manga, and it's already been confirmed that Boruto is going to be going into anime canon. We don't know how long it'll last, but you could argue it'd probably be a long time, because I'm guessing that we're going to adapt probably about another chapter and a half. I don't think we'll go past chapter 56 of adapting stuff, but I'm guessing it's going to go up to there, and then it's going to go into the anime canon. So you could argue we're going to have about 55 chapters. Essentially about 6 or 7 chapters will remain unadapted, and we'll go into anime canon for X amount of time until chapters build up. And I just gotta say that right there is going to lead to, for the time being at the very least, a big fall off for the Boruto franchise. I hope I'm wrong, and I hope something changes, but if you just look at the state of things of where it's going to go, for starters, again, going from Boruto right now is on a high. People are giving it that hated it, like, yo, it's on an 8 right now, it's a 9 right now. People are going to feel a certain way when we go from not only, you know, just this iconic moment, but the dip that is going to follow between going into anime canon episodes that aren't going to have that much impact down the road on the story. It's not like we're going to have, well, there's a possibility, I guess, we could have some type of character deaths. We've seen that they've done, you know, the Tsuchikage Onoke was killed off, so they could do that, but it's not going to be anything significant in terms of what they're going to do with the anime canon episodes. And even the latest stuff, ever since the wrapping up of the battle against Ishiki Otsutsuki, it's all been build up. Like, everything after this arc has been build up and set up, and just now in the manga it's starting to look like something is about to happen, but it's been a lot of slices like build up, setups, worries, or anxiety with characters and stuff like that, and I guess some introductions to newer characters, but still nothing that is going to reach even remotely the level of the climaxes that we had with the Ishiki and Kara episodes and stuff like that. It's just not, and that's something that scares me, that more than likely it means Boruto is going to arguably be called a fall off after 2021, because again, between anime canon episodes and the remaining chapters until this arc is wrapped up, which I'm hoping, and I'll get to it in a second, of what I hope they could do in order to kind of keep this momentum going. But yeah, it's not looking great following this Ishiki Otsutsuki arc, which is something I've been worried about with the manga for quite some time. But how to avert this fall off, because it will fall off, hands down. Like, the popularity and momentum that Boruto has right now is going to decline significantly following this Ishiki stuff. I mean, the core fans, the Boruto fans that kind of been riding with it since day one, we're going to stick around. We're still going to watch a lot of this stuff and whatnot. We're going to champion as best as we can. But in terms of just this global scale that it has amassed over the summer, that's going to kind of go away for a while. What they should do, the current arc that is happening in Boruto right now, they need to kind of just wrap up and resolve whatever is going to happen. I don't think we're going to have a massive war of any kind right now. I think whatever conflict is happening in the manga needs to be resolved within the next 2 to 3 chapters. Boom, close it off, skip to the time skip with the manga, and then maybe in the summertime come back after anime canon, which you gotta think that's a lot of anime canon to go from, let's just say mid-October we start the anime canon. Imagine having basically anime canon, or what some people regard as straight filler, from October all the way to like June or something. That's jarring. Around June time, you go back, adapt these final chapters into the manga, wrap up Boruto Part 1, and then boom, rebrand it Part 2. Or dare I say it, even allow the anime to actually go ahead. How about we allow the anime to just continue on, do a few anime canon episodes to allow production to get to where they need to be, and allow the anime to surpass what's happening in the manga right now, and do the way Dragon Ball Super initially did it with Toriyama handing in a script. Maybe allow Studio Pierrot to take control for Boruto Shippuden, Boruto Z. And hear me out, because a lot of people are like, no, you can't trust Studio Pierrot. Here's the thing, you can't trust Studio Pierrot when they have guidelines that tell them they can't do certain things, they can't have characters act a certain way, because it still needs to stay within the confines of what's happening down the road in the manga. So when it comes to those things, yes, Pierrot's hands are tied, but if you give them a guideline of, hey, you can go ahead now, you can do things, here's what's gonna happen at point A, B, C, you fill in the blanks in between those and we keep it pushing, I think that they could do a good job with it. Like, as long as they have the guidelines set forth from the mangaka, this is what's supposed to happen, I think that'd be a good move. I think that would actually keep the momentum going, because you don't want to lose this right now. This is very big, and this was a couple of years in the making. Since like 2018, the car arc led all the way to this big, massive moment with Naruto's Baryon mode and all of that. You don't want that to go away, and I have a feeling that for the time being, until the time skip or until they adapt these final chapters that's happening in the manga, it's going to be a big fall off for Boruto, and it's unfortunate because Boruto fans have waited for quite some time to be able to say, yeah, Boruto, you see, we've been telling you for a long time, you didn't listen, and then in a few months they're going to be looking at us saying, that was a fun ride, we're off it though. And I say this from a straight up objective fan's standpoint. Like, yeah, I want to see Boruto win, but I also got to be realistic about things. And the manga hasn't been the most exciting the last 6 months. And the anime is pretty much almost caught up. They're going into anime canon. Yeah, the Boruto fall off is going to be real until probably Boruto Z. But I'm very curious what you guys think about this whole debacle when it comes to the Boruto series and franchise. For people that are not necessarily the most hardcore Boruto fans, maybe you just started getting back into it over the summer because you heard all these epic and hype things was going down. How do you feel about the anime potentially going into anime canon until like further notice, or until like, let's just say, half a year until they catch up and are able to do stuff from the manga? You think that's a good idea for Boruto fans that actually, you know, you're a fan of the stuff, but you're also being realistic about the hype levels of, you know, things that is going to reach outside of the Boruto bubble, so to speak? Do you believe that Boruto is going to be able to sustain this level of hype, popularity, and interest in the franchise moving forward following the wrap up of the Ishiki Otsutsuki arc? Again, I highly doubt that. I think it's going to take a big rebrand following this. Honestly, I don't even know why we're not in the time skip at this point. I feel like something could have been done a lot sooner to make sure that when this moment happened, we wasn't going to have it fizzle out. But yeah, your overall thoughts and expectations for the future of the Boruto series. It has been an amazing year for Boruto. I have loved it. I have loved being able to tell a lot of the naysayers, no, we was right. But it seems like we're not going to be right for quite some time moving forward. But we gotta wait and see. That's all I have for this one though. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, make sure to subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram. Hit that bell for all notifications, and if you want to follow any of my other social media, links are in the description below. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day, and remember the golden rule: anime and manga for life. Bye. Have an awesome day. Peace in, and remember, Boruto fans, this isn't a video coming from hate. This is coming from honesty and a passionate fan that has loved this franchise since its inception, since I got into it a long time ago. I think Boruto can still win. It's just going to be down the road, and there's going to be some downtime for the time being. Have an awesome one.
So just go to Fornever.